Hello, brothers and sisters of light and dark. Welcome to my page. Hello, brothers and sisters of light and dark. Welcome to my page. And we're talking about common sense, but I try to keep it down under the nitty gritty under 10 minutes. If it goes over 10 minutes, that means it's something very, very, very important. Fucking important. And my videos are not important to the general masses asses. If you're a fucking libertard, a far leftist, you're a Democrat most of the time, you're greedy and you're lazy and you're selfish. Okay, you always looking for handouts. All right. But if you have any comments, questions, insults, or roast fest, you put it down that shit down below. Because I'm not your average man. I'm not your Peter Pan. And as I said before, this video is going to be something that everyone is not talking about. But this is the Xbox Elite, which has over 200 games in it. I think over 150 or something. This is worth $3,000 right here. And the moment PlayStation 3 had stole some of my games, I kind of had to think ahead. You better have a system where it's offline. Get your digital games stored on a hard drive, and it works. And be at peace, because in the future, digital gaming. This video is going to be about why digital gaming is selling like hotcakes, and why these companies, these greedy companies, these oligarchies that says, "Hey, you will own nothing and be happy." Okay, the real reason why is because of the single mother syndrome. I've said this before. Okay, all right, in the past, I've said this in one of my videos. The bastard children, okay, which is predominantly males, between the ages of 10 and 30 years old, are going to be ball and game boys. I've met plenty of them. Ball and gun boys are typically those guys who buy and purchase digital games online. At first, I thought digital games will be exceptional because I can put it on my hard drive and I can keep it. But then I realized, wait a minute. PlayStation did a tactic one time. I booted it up, and I thought I could keep all my games on there. And so the moment I got back online, I lost like a few games, my classic PS games on there, on my PlayStation 3. I think it was PlayStation 3, right? And I was like, yo, so that means there's a time limit on your digital games. And so I was wondering why that is because if Sony said that, hey, digital games are selling like hotcakes, it's the guys who don't own any games. They don't own any games. They're just playing it online. And those children, mainly predominantly males, are playing games. They don't have a library of games like I do. I have tons and tons of library of games, okay? I store it and I digitize it and I put it on my console. A lot of guys are not PC savvy. They're not going to do that. So they'll just play games that's on Microsoft. They'll start digitally downloading games that they don't know any better. They don't physically own any games. And what I know, I asked them, I said, how many games do you own? Okay, you know, ball and gun boys are basically any guy that says Call of Duty and they don't even speak about Final Fantasy. They don't speak about Hollow Knight. They don't know nothing about Super Mario Brothers. All those individuals, every type of guy that I encounter, I say, are you a gun boy? Okay, those fanny boys. You know, you got people who think that Hulk can beat Superman and shit. Those are fanny boys. They don't know any technicalities. They don't play Dungeons and Dragons. These ball and gun boys, they try to fit in with other guys. They'll just purchase a game, play it digitally, and don't know that they don't own that digital game. They don't know that. It's through ignorance, and also because they're not really a gamer. If you got a guy who's constantly playing, he doesn't have a variety in his library. He's just constantly playing Grand Theft Auto, or he's constantly playing Call of Duty, or he's playing NBA 2K, or any type of sports that says 2K on it. Those guys are not gamers, guys. And this is a fact. This is what I'm telling you from anecdotal experiences. They are not gamers. I have tons of games that I store in my boxes on my hard drive. Hey, but then when I found out that there's a time limit, I think the time limit's active is when you get back online. You will lose your games. I lost my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game and my little Blaster Master game, okay, because I hooked it back up to the internet. Please understand this, guys. Your digital games may not be safe, okay, so I'm sorry. Because I stopped collecting CDs after that happened, okay? And then I realized, wait a minute, okay, I thought the digital games is completely yours. No. That's the problem right there. I stopped collecting physical discs. Though I am a collector. Yes, I'm a collector. But you'll make the mistake thinking that the digital games are yours, and then I had to find out the hard way. I still purchase discs now. But I stopped for a while. And then I realized, wait a minute, could this be a trap? That's the trap. The guys don't know any better. Okay, a lot of people didn't know. I said, okay, is this digital game? I have games on my Nintendo Switch. They should not be able to take those games. I don't know what's going to happen. Think about the future of gaming. People who are collectors and are real gamers, they are going to collect. I want my daughters to play Super Mario Galaxy, which is one of the #1 masterpiece games of all time. Okay? Nintendo have more funner games than what's on the Xbox and also on the PlayStation, by fact and by far, simply because of Super Mario Brothers. Of course, obviously, duh. They're easier to play. They're made for more casual gamers. Yes, I've been a Nintendo. I'm a veteran gamer. I've been playing games ever since the Vectrex box came out. Okay, right? Somebody want to argue with me. Oh no, they're not. The PlayStation is more fun. That's because you didn't grow up with Mario. You don't know anything about Mario, Princess Peach, or Donkey Kong, or Zelda. Those games are quadruple games. That's why their games don't go down in price. Because if you didn't start off with those guys, you didn't play Super Mario Brothers, something's wrong. If you start talking to me about God of War, I'm like, God of War is on the PlayStation, right? PlayStation have too many issues for me to have the one after Part 3. I had the PlayStation 3. I had Part 3 PlayStation. And it was glitching on me. It was overheating. Lots more problems I was having with the PlayStation, dogs. Too many problems with the remote controller. Malfunctioning. I literally had to get a wired controller. You have to get wired controller now these days. There is a above 50% chance that something's going to happen, maybe 60 to 70% chance that something was going to happen to your remote controller. You know, the wireless controller for the PlayStations, it always happens every time. Tons of them I used to have. Then when I got the wired one, I had no problems with it. I didn't have that much problems with the Xbox. I definitely don't have any problems with Nintendo products, okay? Never. Anytime when you have a system freezing on you, then you know there's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of heat. I play games for at least 6 to 7 hours at a time. Okay? I do not play 4 to 7 hours at a time. I do not sit there and not enjoy my game. They are more entertaining than movies and comic books combined. All right. So since we understand why we have a whole bunch of individuals, ball and gun boys out there, these guys, you do not have conversation with them. They don't know nothing about Smash Brothers. They don't know about the funnest fighting game. They don't know about the Borderlands. They don't know about that shit because they stuck with Call of Duty and motherfucking NBA 2K. I'm telling you, I hear it on the court all the time. I'm playing basketball. I'm like, I saw y'all play. Hey, what else you playing? Fortnite, something relatable to it. I'm like, dude, that's a massively multiplayer online game. But you know, do you play any games by itself? No, they don't play those games. They're kids. They don't know any better. Other than that, that's all I really gotta say. I already told you the reason why. Because I'm not your average man. I'm not your Peter Pan. A lot of single mothers create the bastard children, and the boys grow up with just video games, but they don't know anything about collecting any games. They'll download a game digitally. They don't know if it's theirs or not. But that's all I really wanted to say, guys. There's a lot more guys out there who are gaming than women, hands down. But you get my point. This is under 10 minutes. If you have any comments, questions, insults, or roast, you put it down below. Peace.